Okay, for some reason, just in the last 2 weeks, at least 4 people have tried to suggest to me that I might be an INTP instead of an ISTP. Now, one of them was that troll that I mentioned in my last video, so that doesn't count. But the other 3, I think, were legitimately trying to understand or question whether I'm actually an ISTP or if I might be an INTP. But the thing is, their arguments for me being an INTP were weak arguments. The basic underlying theme was either I remind them of an INTP that they know, or I don't seem like an ISTP to them, therefore I must be an INTP. So I just want to take this time just to remind everyone that personality type has nothing to do with behaviors or interests, because those things are learned. I mean, they may make up a person's overall personality, but personality type is just about innate cognitive preferences. Okay, an ISTP is someone who prefers introversion over extroversion, sensing over intuition, thinking over feeling, and perception over judging. That's it. That's what an ISTP is. Okay? My top 2 cognitive functions are introverted thinking and extroverted sensing. That's where you get the S and the T. And because my first function is introverted, that's where you get the I. And because my perception function is the extroverted function, that's where you get the P. Okay? ISTP. That's all an ISTP is. That's how you define an ISTP. Now, having those cognitive preferences can lead to the types of behaviors that you might be thinking that you might be expecting to see in an ISTP, but that's not necessarily the case. The problem is a lot of people become interested in personality types because it's like, you take this test online and then you get a result. Say you turn out to be an INFP, and you read this description of an INFP, and you're like, oh wow, that's totally me. And then your friend takes a test and it gets INTP, and you go, oh wow, that totally describes him. And then you find me, ISTP description, and you're like, really? Are you sure you're an ISTP? The problem is, I think these people who write these personality type descriptions, I think they only, maybe they only sampled like maybe 2 ISTPs, and so they just took the things that they had in common, and then they came up with this. Okay, so this is what an ISTP is supposed to look like. But if you're trying to use that to determine someone's personality type, you're starting at the wrong end. It's just stereotypes. I know I'm an ISTP because I use introverted thinking and extroverted sensing. Now, an INTP also has introverted thinking as their top function. So that's where the similarity might appear. But an INTP uses extroverted intuition as their second function. I don't relate to any at all. And in fact, the INTPs who have seen my videos will tell you that I am definitely not an INTP. So, to sum up, personality type is about your innate cognitive preferences. It is not about behaviors or interests. This is basic typology theory. The only reason I'm even making this video is just because, all these different people suggesting to me that I'm an INTP just in the last 2 weeks. Now, I have no idea why this all of a sudden is happening. Probably is just a coincidence. Frankly, I don't care. Now, an INTP might care to speculate, but I'm not an INTP, so I don't care. Now, if you're still convinced that I'm not an ISTP, I don't care anymore. You can believe what you want to believe. I know what I am.